You know, I've never been one for making New Year's resolutions. Certainly, I've never been one for keeping New Year's resolutions. But I do think that 2020 is going to be a watershed year as the conservative movement in Canada is forced to confront that age-old question of what conservatism truly means. Not that conservatism's definition changes, but certainly conservative parties' willingness to embrace that definition changes. So I want to put a suggestion forward to conservative parties, to conservative politicians, and even just to individual conservatives in this country. Make 2020 the year you start pushing back. You see, one of the biggest problems that conservative politicians face is that they are defined by the left. They are defined on liberal terms, they are defined on liberal policies, and they are defined on liberal premises. And oftentimes, instead of rejecting these premises, people on the right try to wishy-washy themselves around and not really deal with the meat of the question, not really deal with the meat of the accusation. We saw this most recently in Canada with Andrew Scheer, where instead of just planting his feet and being honest and transparent about what he believes on social issues, he was trying to make it so that there was a maneuvered answer, a politically scripted answer that would be saleable. It didn't work. The lesson in this is that you have to stand your ground because at least you're standing somewhere. The result, of course, is that Andrew Scheer is getting hit by the red Tories for being too conservative and the blue Tories for being too red. We see this in any number of areas. One of the reasons Donald Trump has been so successful as a politician is because he rejected the rule book that every other lawmaker or prospective lawmaker has tried to play by. Doug Ford, very similar in Ontario, rose to where he did today because he wasn't playing the game of the people that were trying to criticize him. The media is always going to do what the media does best. The media is always going to be defined, for the most part, based on people that have liberal worldviews. In many cases, people that haven't even met a conservative in their life. And that's why they are approaching the issues the way they are. So if you're on the right, you have to fight back. If you go along with the narrative, because you say that's not the hill to die on, eventually you're going to run out of hills. And this is my message to the right. Make this the year you fight back. Not because there's something noble about fighting, but certainly because if you don't, you're going to see your ground recede more and more every single year. And if you believe the age-old axiom coined by Andrew Breitbart that politics is downstream of culture, which I do, then you have to accept that every time you give an inch, you are giving the other side momentum against you. And this is especially true when it comes to free speech. If you cede any ground on your ability to discuss the issues, you're not going to be able to win the argument on any other issue. Margaret Thatcher said, first you win the argument, then you win the election. The right needs to start winning the argument. True North is standing up for free speech and all of these issues in a way the mainstream media isn't. We can't do it alone. If you can chip in a few dollars, even in this holiday season, to support the work we do, please do. Head on over to tnc.news/donate. For True North, I'm Andrew Lawton.